the City of Groton Mayor and Council for Monday, November 6, 2017. Declare a quorum. Clerk Patrick, will you call the roll, please?
Present are Mayor Keith Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Lawrence Garish, Councilors Jill Rusk, Jamal Beckford, Stephen Sheffield, Conrad Heath, Rashad Carter, Finance Director Ronnie West, Clerk Deborah Patrick.
Any salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Recognition, awards, and memorials. Councilor Carter.
I had the pleasure to coach the Groton Mystic Falcons Youth 10U division. Yesterday we had 3 teams playing the semifinals. 2 of us lost, including my team, sadly. But we do have one, the 8 and under division. They're proceeding to the Super Bowl next Sunday. It's at Wyndham High School at, I believe, 9 o'clock. And there's a lot of city residents that play on that team, so good luck to them. Congratulations.
Good. Anyone else? Councilor Garish.
I do.
Deputy Mayor Garish.
I do. I just wanted to commend our Parks and Recs and Park Department, and especially Val Kosmita, who escorts some of the bus trips that the Parks Department does. I participated in a couple of them this year, and she does a great job escorting and planning, and it's a really nice program for our residents and others who choose to join in. And I just thought that I wanted to mention what a great job Val does on that.
I will pass that on.
Thank you.
I want to take a real quick opportunity to recognize the police, the fire, public works, Groton utilities in this last storm, particularly with the events around Lytton Avenue. If you go down into that area, you'll notice it's set up like a T. And when the fire chief and the deputy chief and I went down to look at that at 3 o'clock in the morning, there were 2 trees down. And the trees were on either side of the leg of the T. And there was no way that the fire department could get back there in the event of a casualty. So everybody worked together to verify that the power was secured so that the public works can come in there and cut access so that people could get access in there. The police and the fire, we came in with a mini EOC around 11 o'clock or so, and we stayed here until around 3 o'clock or so the night of the storm. But the police were out, the fire was out, fire departments were out, and that presence helps bring a calm to the residents during the night and during the day. And then when Public Works and Groton Utilities started their work, then that was tremendous. It took us a couple days to get to Lytton. Lytton was the worst, but we were also working other parts of the city and other parts of where Groton Utilities provides power. For example, Groton Long Point and other places. So the utility and everybody else that supported them all worked together, and it was actually pretty impressive to see what they were able to get done in the amount of time that they were able to get it done in. So I just wanted to pass that on. All right, are there any receipt of citizens petitions? Do we have any citizens who would like to speak to the council? Okay, seeing none, we'll skip response. Approval of the minutes. I need a motion to approve the October 2nd, 2017 Mayor and Council meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Need a motion for the minutes of October 23rd, 2017 Committee of the Whole meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Communications and reports. Councilor Rusk.
I've got quite a few. On October 10th, I was able to attend the City Police Community presentation on ALEC, which is the Autism and Law Enforcement Education Coalition, along with Clerk Patrick and the Mayor. ALEC is an education of they do police and fire department. I believe all of our police officers have gone through it.
Yes.
And it's working with the community in related to residents with autism or on the autism spectrum. It was a great training, and if you in the community have a chance to come out to hear about it another time, I believe the police are going to do another training on it. Please do so. It really was helpful. On October 19th, I attended the Dr. Martin Luther King 36th Annual Scholarship Dinner with Mayor Hedrick, Councilor Beckford, Councilor Sheffield, Councilor Heed, and Clerk Patrick. Did I miss anyone? Okay. And I just want to congratulate all the scholarship winners. It was really, really impressive. Those kids are very inspiring. And it was a lot of fun to meet the West Side 8th graders who attended also. So good luck to all of them in the future of being potential scholarship winners. On October 20th, I attended the Law Enforcement Appreciation Night hosted by the Groton Lodge of the Elks, and I wanted to congratulate Officer Trisha
Lito.
Thank you, I was saying her name wrong, I'm sorry, on being honored that night. On October 24th, I attended the Groton New London Airport Advisory Committee. The two big things coming out of that meeting that I got was that runway construction is scheduled for 2020. Runway reconstruction, sorry, is scheduled for 2021. It is paid for by FEMA. So that is looking to be pushed out a little bit further. It had been hoped to be done earlier. The next meeting is January 23rd, 2018, and all the meetings from here on out are going to be at the airport. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to attend. They're open to the public. On October 27th, I attended the Trick or Trunk at Eastern Point Beach with the mayor and Clerk Patrick. Park and Rec and the city police were there. It was a great experience. The kids had a great time.
It was wonderful.
It was. And I just wanted to remind everybody that tomorrow is elections. Please come out and vote for Town Council, Board of Ed, RTM, and Town Clerk. And just a quick plug, there'll be a bake sale at the Municipal building to benefit the Fitch Senior Class drug and alcohol-free graduation party. Please come and support us. Thank you.
But also on that, it is a town-wide election, therefore the city of Groton Districts 2 and Districts 3 are part of the town, therefore you do vote in it, you can and are allowed to vote in this election and are requested to come out and vote just like everybody else. Sorry, I just wanted to add on.
Thank you. And that was it?
Thank you. Councilor Beckford.
Yeah, on October 19th, I attended the Martin Luther King Scholarship Dinner. And to echo Councilor Rusk's comments, all the winners were very impressive. And if those are the kids that are leading us into the future, we are in good hands.
I agree.
And then on November 1st, I attended a training hosted by, I want to say CERC, which is the Connecticut Economic Resource Center, and the Economic Development Commission here in Groton City. And the mayor was there with me, but they went over kind of the profile of the city and kind of teased out from the audience what we're looking for, where we're trying to go as far as economic development for Groton City. So that was a great event as well. That's all I have.
And when we're supposed to get the PowerPoint presentation that they gave there, when we get that, I'll get that to the council so that you have it as well, so you can benefit. Councilor Sheffield.
Yes, October, I believe it's 10th, we had our Group 2 committee meeting with Community and Finance, and with Finance Director Ron Uhas attending. On the 19th, I attended the Martin Luther King Scholarship Dinner. Again, outstanding group of young men and women that were selected. Couldn't be better. And again, once again, congratulations to the West Side group of 8th graders. I think they were outstanding group, and of course the West Side staff as well attending to support those students, and that bodes very well for their future as well. So that's all.
Thank you, Councilor Heath.
I also attended the MLK dinner. I'd encourage all the kids in the city to come out and attend that dinner. I it makes me wonder where I was in high school because I remember sports. That's about it. And then I also attended the Elks Club, the police awards dinner at the Elks Club, and that was just to add on to that. There were police departments from all around the region, including the state police, who were awarded for fine police work. So that was really great to meet all of them.
Yeah, that was a wonderful event, and that's encouraging as well. Councilor Carter.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Garish.
Yes, Mayor, I also attended the Law Enforcement Awards night at the Elks, and it was very impressive. And it's like Councilor Pete stated that there were numerous other area police department officers that received awards, not only from the Elks Club, but from Senator Summers and Representatives Dela Cruz and Connolly. So it was as you know, you were there, a nice event, and well deserving of the people that received the awards. And of course, our own Trish Lito, who I was aware of the student police cadets that she mentors and has that group, and I believe one of these days she's going to bring some of them before us to tell us more about it.
Yes, it's the next cow.
Right. The other thing, I read in the newspaper recently about some of the children in our schools, Groton schools, that the food bank needed some help funding for those children who come that don't have money to buy lunches. So after reading that, I inquired with the director of the food bank and asked him if a donation would help, and he said that it would. So I went to the Groton Elks meeting and explained the situation and asked if they would donate $1,000 to the Groton School food program, and it was a unanimous vote that they wanted to contribute that. And I did present a check to the school, and at the same time I asked them for another $1,000 for the Groton Social Services, and I delivered that check the same day.
That's tremendous. Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Finance Director Uhouse?
Nothing to report.
City Clerk Patrick? Sorry. I do know your name.
Well, I didn't see you today. I thought maybe you might have slipped your mind. I attended all of the events that Councilor Rusk noted, so I won't go over the whole thing, but
Okay.
all wonderful events.
Okay, thank you. All right, a couple things. I attended on October 4th, I attended the announcement of David McBride as the Director of Thames River Innovation Partners over at Thames River Greenery on State Street. And then later on in the month, he and I and Mayor Passero and Mayor Flax went to see Jeff Geiger, who's the president of Electric Boat, and presented to him, and also asked Electric Boat if they would be a partner. And they are looking at that. Oh, actually, they said yes. They're trying to find who that partner is going to be. Board member, actually, not just a partner, but a board member. October 10th, the ALEC. I attended on October 11th the Thames River Heritage Park. On the 13th, October 13th, I attended Senator Blumenthal business breakfast up in Norwich, and that was informational about the different businesses and what things are doing here. On October 15th, I attended the Yukon Avery Point 50th Anniversary Festival. I think you were there, I saw you there, and Jamal was there, and Clerk Patrick was there, so I saw you guys there. On Monday, October 16th, I had a meeting with John Burt, Gretchen Chipperini, Dr. Grenier, and a couple other people. We're looking at some economic development things in the town, and I've been asked to be part of that, and so I have participated in those and will continue. On the 16th, I attended the Groton Sale Foundation meeting. I gave you guys some information on the Groton Sale. It's continuing to move forward. We're still moving with fundraising. We're also looking at the property near where the Flasher Memorial is now, where they're going to put that. We are getting the pieces sampled so that we can then move them over to electric boat. Electric boat will then, well, actually, we're going to need to sandblast them, and then once that's done, then we can move them over to electric boat. Electric boat can build them, put them together, and then we transfer it back and forth. So it's still way early on, but there's a lot going on. I went to the Southeastern Connecticut Council of Government on the 18th and attended the Groton Utilities public hearing, followed by a Groton Utilities Commission meeting. On the 20th, we went to a site visit. One of the things that we are looking at is document management here in the city. We have tons and tons of records that we are required to keep. Some of them we're required to keep in hard copy, some we can microfiche, some we can transfer to electronic media. And we went and talked to this company. They gave us a tour of their facility, and it's fairly impressive what they're able to do. So we're working on a statement of work, and then we will then get something from them so that we can do a la carte. And it's going to be a several-year project to get everything classified and codified. Yes, sir.
So I take it this is a local facility?
No, it's actually in Manchester.
Okay.
That was the closest we could find.
And this is like a cloud storage?
Well,
Or
yes, it can be. Well, yes. Let me go back to yes,
sure.
primarily.
If it was electronic.
Right, but the thing is, currently there's a requirement that the building inspector has to have his drawings on microfiche. And that just doesn't make sense because nobody does microfiche. So what happens is, right now, what the state is doing and what the state is mandating is you take the drawings, you convert them to microfiche, then you can take the microfiche and convert it to digital. Right? Now, I think that's stupid. So what we're going to do is we're going to approach the state and suggest that instead of doing that extra step, just let me go straight to digital.
Right.
Because that's ultimately what they're doing anyway. And so the company is going to, Scan Optics is the name of the company, they're going to provide us with some information and some cost savings that I can put into a letter and send to the state. And what I'm looking for, because what I asked was, this is a crazy requirement, have we asked for written relief? And the answer was no. Well, you know, in your business, if there's a requirement that sometimes you have difficulty meeting, sometimes you can ask for and can be given written relief from that specific requirement if you're meeting it equivalently somewhere else. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're going to do with those guys. But they can, they have a machine that, you know the normal blueprint size?
Right.
They can copy and digitally copy there. I watched 1,000 sheets go through this thing in just a couple minutes. And it takes pictures top and bottom, and there's optics, and I mean, it's pretty impressive what they've done. They even have a machine where they can take pictures, the old ledger books that we have. You don't even have to take them apart. You just put them there and you go, it's labor intensive because you got to go page to page, but it takes pictures so you can digitally capture all that information. So that's where we're going.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. On the October 25th, we had a Groton Utilities Commission meeting. Friday, October 27th, attended a military appreciation breakfast at the Mystic Marriott. That was just so moving because we had all the branches recognized. Fitch High School, I want to say choral group, but chamber, thank you, chamber choir. They sang a national anthem, and then They also sang the hymn for all the different services, and you got to stand up and all. Very moving ceremony. And then later that morning, I attended the mobile food pantry over at St. John's Church, Christian Church, and we served 125 people, which is equivalent of basically 500 people, because they assume a family of 4 for each person there.
Wow.
And then on Wednesday, November 1st, attended a Hummus House 1-year welcoming ceremony. We went there and took pictures and had takeout, so that was good. Let's see what else. And then last Thursday, I had a meeting with the town manager. The town manager and I have lunch once a month. We also have another meeting once a month that we have, and then we communicate usually during a week, a couple of times during a week. We're working on building relationships between the city and the town, and we are looking at ways that we can share services that will not negatively impact the city, because that's very important to me. I'm interested in cost savings and sharing and those kind of things, as long as the city is not harmed, and he understands that. So that's that. And a couple things real quick. One of the things that I've been talking, that I've talked to Finance Director Uhas, is we are going to come up with a form for all the department heads to use for their budgets. And then once we come out monthly, I'm going to share with you budget information so that you know, so that we know, and I share with you as a council where we are on budget. That's important to me, that you guys understand that. And also, we are going to start having department heads come and brief you on what their departments are doing. We have a lot of great things that are going on here, and I don't think we've shared that enough in the past. I want to share it with you and share it with the public. And then the last thing, at the committee of the whole, I am probably going to bring Director Godet in to brief you guys on the Groton Utility Commission meeting, highlights of that meeting, and also the CMEC brief as part of that. So brief you highlights of the CMEC meeting so that you guys know what's going on with the Utilities Commission meeting and also with CMEC. That way, if you have any questions or comments, because right now you may or may not have a lot of information on it, we're going to share that information so that you have it. I don't intend to get into the minutia. However, if you have questions or if you think that you need more detail, I'm certainly willing to provide that to you so that you have the information that you need going forward. And that's it. Committee referrals. Do we have any committee? Councilor Rusk.
I have a committee referral to the Public Safety Committee. I had a resident approach me who lives on Baker Ave, who is concerned about the expansion of EB. She got a ticket for parking on her own street. So the question is, can we get residential parking passes for Baker Avenue and some of the other surrounding areas that might be affected, so that people can park in their own parking and they're on their own road?
Can I?
Well, you please, because I have a comment on it, but
Okay. I believe if that person would go to the police department, there's rules and regulations in place to accommodate people that have those kind of needs, if they qualify.
She paid the fine. She was asked to pay the fine.
Right. Now, because one of the things that we're looking at, because of electric boats expansion with the additional 10,000 employees in the next 5 to 10 years, is we are looking at, do we need to expand resident parking and residential parking? I have had probably 5 or 6 people, different locations, 2 on Baker, that have come to me, and I've explained that I'm not ready to go with residential or resident parking on that yet. And part of it is that there's more cars than there are spaces for them to park in their own parking lot, in their own thing. And some of it is because people have guests, if you will. So some of it is management of the parking and of the guests, as opposed to taking it resident-only residential. I'm not against resident-only residential, and if you want to continue to bring it here, bring it to that committee, I don't have an issue with that. We are looking at it, so what we can do is we can have a chief or the deputy chief get involved with this, and if we need to push this, we can. There have been people that I have given passes to, and then there have been people that I have not given passes to, because, not to get into a specific case, but each and every case is different. And I'm trying to, I mean, one of the things that would be easy if I had said all of the city is going to be resident or residential parking only. But it's not quite that simple, and we're looking at that. We're also looking at where electric boat is expanding and migrating, and that is one of the things that is driving going to residential parking only.
I absolutely want to continue the referral.
Sure.
I don't think people should get a ticket for parking outside of their own residence. I can honestly say we have 4 vehicles, which if we stack them just right in our driveway, we'll get them all in. But then if we have any guests, they can't park there. And I wouldn't say that my guests shouldn't be allowed to park in front of my house, or one of us be allowed to park in front of my house. The house in question is a multifamily house.
Sure.
So there is going to be extra vehicles. There are going to be extra vehicles there. I don't think we should be charging a residence or giving them tickets when they're parking in front of their own residence. That's where I'm at. So if it needs to be that we're giving parking passes to people who live there so that they're not getting tickets.
Yep.
I'm not saying that nobody can park there, you know, no EB employees can park there.
Sure.
On Baker. And I'm sure there's other roads. My referral was just from Baker.
But we could certainly move this up and look at resident parking and residential parking.
And we'll have to explain that again.
We will.
Thank you.
But that'll come up during the Public Safety Committee, and then that can come back to the council
Fantastic.
on where you want to go.
Perfect.
I mean, that is something we are looking at already, but it appears that there may be a sense of urgency to move it forward. So we can do that. Deputy Mayor Garrett.
Yeah, just to respond to something you said, that the person paid the ticket. Well, you know, maybe if the person had come down and spoke to the police department before she got the ticket, or he got the ticket.
Oh.
But after you already get the ticket, then, you know, it's a little bit too late. It's putting the cart before the horse. But I mean, I think most residents that have parking concerns, they should go because there is stuff in place. And I know that Chief Davern.
No, I agree. We do have room for improvement.
Yeah,
We'll just
but Chief Davern did a lot of work on it not long ago.
Sure.
Yep.
I think we just need a policy across the board so that people know what the policy is. We can say this is what you need to do.
Okay, not a problem. Any other referrals? Okay. Continue with new business. Councilor Rusk.
Resolution R-17-11-151. Am I reading both? Therefore, it be it resolved, or just the last one?
The last one.
Therefore, it be it resolved that the mayor and council initially approve an ordinance approving revisions to the existing water rate schedule for the City of Groton Department of Utilities Water Division for all water services located within the Groton and Eastern Division service territory to be effective for water service billed on and after January 1, 2018, on and after July 1, 2018, and on and after July 1, 2019. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We had a presentation on this during Committee of the Whole. Any hearing none? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Counselor Becker?
Resolution R-17-11-152. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize and approve the expenditure of $10,000 to the Thames River Heritage Park Foundation for the purposes of supporting the program year 2018 operating expenses of the Thames River Heritage Park water taxi. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just have a question. So this is for the year 2018. But where's the $10,000 going to be coming from? Is there already a pot?
It comes out of the community development and
Okay.
beautification fund.
Okay.
That the generator rentals come in from CMAG that we have on property, and there's currently $156,000 in that fund of unreserved or undesignated.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what number?
$156,000 roughly.
Thank you.
It's the same place where we did like the TIF funding, the donations that we do to the local organizations, the $500 ones and those. So it's that same fund.
The town council also has this on their agenda for Wednesday. Any other, Counselor Sheffield?
Should we have stipulated that on the motion as far as where the money's coming from? Was that
It's-
necessary? No.
No,
Okay.
it's not a requirement.
Okay.
Any other, Counselor Heed?
As I recall, this was approved, the state portion was already approved in the budget.
The,
Okay. Yeah, I think the last time we met, it wasn't. I don't think
it
it was.
wasn't, it has passed,
Okay.
$100,000 for the next 2 years for the water taxi as well. That is correct.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries unanimously. Deputy Mayor Garish.
Resolution R-17-11-153. Therefore, be it resolved that Mayor and Council authorize and approve the City of Groton to enter into an agreement with Planometrics, 70 Country Club Road, Simsbury, Connecticut, for professional planning services to review and update the city's 2008 Plan of Conservation and Development for a total price not to exceed $39,000 and no cents to be paid from the General Fund Capital Carryover Fiscal Year 2018 Planning Department Operating Funds and the Community Development and Beautification Fund. I so move.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This was presented during the committee of the whole. Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Counselor Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-17-11-154. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize the police department to accept a grant from the Department of Transportation, Office of Highway Safety, for the fiscal year 2018 Comprehensive Driving Under the Influence (DUI) enforcement program in the amount of $9,700 and no cents, of which 100%, $7,125 and no cents, is funded by the state of Connecticut. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Okay, Counselor Russ.
Can you explain the number difference? We have in the amount of $9,700, which is 100% funded by the state of Connecticut at $7,125.
Is this, okay, hold on, I'm gonna give,
I looked at it.
I didn't think it was an issue. The grant is $9,700, $7,125 of it is for the DUI enforcement portion.
I think with this
Okay.
last year they only funded a portion of it. This year it's 100%.
So we
So
sit-
I'm not sure.
So
Yeah,
the
so
state
it
is
says-
giving us $9,700 and we're only spending $7,125?
That is my
It
understanding.
says, yeah,
Where
it
does the
says-
rest of that money go? In the police budget?
Could that be an error?
I'm wondering if it's
No,
if they-
it's in parentheses, so it's probably not an error. So what, it would just say 100%. And it's not even close. There's a, it's not like they can, how could it be a typo? Unless they just 125.
It is a typo. Because if you go to the top, the resolution, it didn't get carried down to the bottom correctly. My
Okay.
guess is that 7,125 was last year's number.
Okay,
This resolution probably got copied
Yeah.
and pasted.
all right,
So if you look at that top resolution, it has the 100%, which is 100% funded. It didn't get.
all right. So the 7,125 is an error?
When it was being
Okay,
typed
then
up,
that's
maybe
mine.
somebody was looking at a different number.
Well, she might have copied and pasted
Well, let's
this.
see in parentheses though.
Because last year it wasn't 100%. Last year was, I think they only did maybe like 75% of the grant. So I think they put the total amount and then
Yeah.
the 75% piece of it was this.
Will it need to be read
Yeah.
as amended?
Say again?
Will you have to amend it and
Word.
read it? Or?
Yep. We
Oh, I see what
will,
you're saying. Like she just,
or we
See
could,
how up here.
so she probably shouldn't even
The
put.
motion to
number here.
amend the,
Should probably found last year's.
Clerk
well, the
Patrick,
motion
we-
itself just says 100% funded on the motion itself.
Oh,
Mhm.
hold on. Do we need to amend this to remove the $7,125? Or reread it, or should we have the motion and the seconder withdraw and then start and then do it again?
We make a motion
Without
that
the
we just
seven-
delete that.
125.
The motion
So-
itself is correct, it's the therefore be it resolved is what's
That's
incorrect.
That's right. I think if the motioner and the seconder withdraw and then you reread it without the 7,125, you should be okay.
Okay, who's the motion?
That's my, I hereby,
Okay, who was,
And who was the
so
second?
are you okay with that?
yeah,
Who was the second?
Me?
Councilman
Okay,
Dean.
I will withdraw.
Okay,
I thought it was.
all
I
right,
wasn't sure.
so let's start again, just
Okay.
leave the 7,125 out.
okay, resolution R-17-11-154. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize the police department to accept a grant from the Department of Transportation, Office of Highway Safety for the fiscal year 2018 Comprehensive Driving Under the Influence DUI Enforcement Program in the amount of $9,700.00, of which 100% is funded by the state of Connecticut. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Heed.
R-17-11-155, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of Mark Ofinger, 201 Broad Street, Groton, Connecticut, as the City of Groton ratepayer representative to Connecticut Municipal Electric Energy Cooperative, CMEC, term to expire on May 24th, 2020. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Carter.
R-17-11-156, correct?
Yes.
Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council waive the bid process and authorize the approve a contract with Peter S. Torello LLC, P.O. Box 1270, New London, Connecticut, for repairs to the sidewalk, front landing, and brick wall of City Municipal Building in the amount not to exceed $14,650 in no cents to be paid from the various public improvement funds. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Rusk.
Resolution R-17-11-157. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve and implement the Adopt a Highway program for the city of Groton. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Beckford.
Resolution R-17-11-158. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the placement of a memorial bench at Eastern Point Beach in honor of Irene Carlson in accordance with the procedures for consideration of beach and parks memorials as approved by the mayor and council. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries unanimously. We do not have an executive session. I'll take a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We are adjourned.